Increase in the incidence of diabetes and its implications. Introduction. Diabetes is among the most prevalent and morbid chronic diseases affecting in the health of millions of persons worldwide.
Diabetes is a common condition that affects all kinds of people all over the world. It prevents your body from making enough insulin and using it properly. What's insulin? Well, insulin is a hormone your body needs to change food into energy. This is very important because your body needs energy to work well. Your body is made up of many different organs, and they do many different things. One of these organs is called the pancreas, which is where your body makes insulin. When you eat something, your digestive system breaks the food down so it can move through your blood and into your cells. Carbohydrates or starches are broken down into glucose, a type of sugar. Your cells use glucose as fuel. Insulin moves glucose out of your blood and into your cells. That's so your body can create enough energy to get you through the day.
Applications in medicine. The aim of diabetes treatment is to keep one reason, blood glucose levels as near to as normal possible. Treatment requires a strict regimen that typically includes a carefully calculated diet, planned physical activity, multiple daily insulin injection, and home blood glucose testing a number of times per day.
What is diabetes? Diabetes describes a group of metabolic diseases in which the person has blood sugar, either because insulin production is inadequate or because the body cells do not respond properly to insulin. Patients with diabetes will typically experience frequent urination, increasingly thirsty, and hungry. There are three types of diabetes. In the type 1, the body doesn't produce insulin. In the type 2, the body doesn't produce enough insulin for proper function. And finally, the gestational diabetes. This type affects females during pregnancy. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetes last a lifetime. Fortunately, they're all treatable. And adequate treatment and lots of discipline makes all the difference to long-term health. Achieving balanced diabetes treatment can be the key to living with both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Remember, your specific diabetes treatment should be agreed between you and your doctor. If you want to learn more, just click the link below. See you later.
Pros and cons. Pros. However, there are treatments including simple things you can do daily that make a big difference. Cons. The reality is that there is no cure for diabetes, neither type 1 diabetes nor type 2 diabetes. Although lifestyle change can achieve remission in type 2 diabetes some cases.
Diabetes refers to a group of conditions characterized by a high level of blood glucose, commonly referred to as blood sugar. Too much sugar in the blood can cause serious, sometimes life-threatening health problems. There are two types of chronic diabetic conditions: type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Pregnant women may acquire a transient form of the disease called gestational diabetes, which usually resolves after the birth of the baby. Pre-diabetes is when the blood sugar level is at the borderline, higher than normal, but lower than in diabetics. Pre-diabetes may or may not progress to diabetes. During food digestion, carbohydrates, or carbs, break down into glucose, which is carried by the bloodstream to various organs of the body. Insulin is a hormone produced by beta cells of the pancreas and is necessary for glucose intake by target cells. In healthy people, beta cells of the pancreas produce insulin. Insulin binds to its receptors on target cells and induces glucose intake. In type 1 diabetes, beta cells of the pancreas are destroyed by the immune system by mistake. The reason why this happens is unclear, but genetic factors are believed to play a major role. Insulin production is reduced. Less insulin binds to its receptor on target cells. Less glucose is taken into the cells. More glucose stays in the blood. Type 1 is characterized by early onsets. Symptoms commonly start suddenly and before the age of 20. Type 1 diabetes is normally managed with insulin injection. Type 1 diabetics are therefore insulin dependent. In type 2 diabetes, the pancreas produces enough insulin, but something goes wrong either with receptor binding or insulin signaling inside the target cells. The cells are not responsive to insulin and therefore cannot import glucose. Glucose stays in the blood. In other words, type 2 diabetics are insulin resistant. Here again, genetic factors predispose susceptibility to the disease, but it is believed that lifestyle plays a very important role in type 2. Typically, obesity, inactive lifestyle, and unhealthy diet are associated with higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 is characterized by adult onset. Symptoms usually appear gradually and start after the age of 30. Type 2 diabetes accounts for about 80 to 90% of all diabetics. Management focuses on weight loss and includes a low-carb diet.
According to the Global Burden of Disease report for 2015, the prevalence of diabetes rose from approximately 333 million persons in 2005 to approximately 435 million persons in 2015, an increase of 30.6%. During the same interval, the annual number of deaths from diabetes rose from 1 million to 1.5 million. This increase is attributed in the GBD report to population growth and aging.
Okay, it's really time to wake up when it comes to diabetes. We hear about it in the news, but I don't think we can sound the alarm too much, and I don't think you can be realistic fearmonger if you're out there trying to get people to wake up about how bad diabetes is. But let's take a look at the figures here in how since 1960 how diabetes is just skyrocketing. That's 2010. These are the last figures I can see in this chart, and it's going to be worse if you take a look at 2015. So it is just precipitously increasing, and it is well past the time we need to put a stop to this, because diabetes again is associated with so many other diseases that follow on, and this disease, diabetes, is largely preventable if it can be caught, especially the pathology associated with it. But in many cases, individuals simply are acquiring diabetes through lifestyle choices that, had they been aware of this information earlier, they could have been educated to this and prevented the onset of diabetes.
Conclusion. It's clear that we are far from controlling the negative effects of diabetes on health worldwide. As the prevalence increases, we clearly need new approaches to reduce the burden of this disease on public health.